Tok family, and welcome to another episode of Talk the Talk. I'm your host Desh, and today I'm excited to introduce and welcome Angelique Vermaak. She's the service manager at Bidvest McCarthy Toyota, Richards Bay. So I must tell you the story before we go on to a further introduction. She was going to fly all the way to Johannesburg a couple weeks back, and unfortunately I was called away and we had to postpone that interview. So I came all the way to Durban and she drove all the way from Richards Bay to Ballito to come and meet me. So this was supposed to happen. Yes. As a after sales manager, Angelique has to be extremely pedantic about all the tasks that she has to pay attention to. She is extremely enthusiastic, especially being in a predominantly male position. Angelique is one of the nominees for the Motoring Woman of the Year Awards. Actually, she's a finalist, and this is the reason we had to meet her. Now, to be in an after sales position as a female in the motoring trade is few and far between, and I think it's really important. It is so significant that we share the knowledge that she has gained with our followers. In addition, she has excellent organizational skills and the ability to communicate effectively with others. So without further ado, let's welcome Angelique, and as always, this interview is proudly brought to you by Sariti Solutions. Hello Angelique, how are you?
Hi Desh, fine, thanks, and yourself?
Finally we meet.
At last.
Gosh, yes. Like the universe really wanted it to happen at this point in time.
Yes, there was a reason for
There was a reason, but I thank you so much for coming out, driving all the way to come and have this interview with me, and for understanding that this movement or your nomination is not just about being recognized, but about using your voice to empower this entire initiative and aim and objective to share the knowledge. So thank you for that.
It's only a pleasure.
Okay.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. Okay, let's talk about your journey in motoring.
Yeah, so that was a very unexpected move. Mm-hmm. So after school, or while I was in matric, I worked at the pharmacy, and I always thought, you know what, this is what I want to do. I am going into pharmaceuticals. And then November, my matric year, my husband now, at that stage we were still dating, he got retrenched, and his mother got him a job in Nelspruit. So I decided to go, so I'm not going to be doing this, I'm going with him. So we traveled to Nelspruit, and I needed to find something to do. My dad had just bought me a car and very nicely introduced to me that I'll be paying for this vehicle. So I had to find a job.
Right.
And I sent out my CV everywhere in White River, and then Daltic Automotive phoned me.
Okay.
They are a automotive engineering shop, small family owned shop. And I walked in there and I thought, oh my goodness, this is so dirty. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. But I walked in and I loved it, every moment of it. So I got introduced to all the part supplies, and it just became part of me. And then about 2 years later, obviously times changed and salary needed to change, and there it couldn't. It was just not possible. So I went back to the pharmacy, and they offered me training to become a pharmacist. And the moment I walked to go and give in my contracts, I got called from Alert Engine Parts, and they said, no, come back. So I went back, and I've never looked back. I have been in the motor industry since 2008, and I love every moment.
Isn't it? So from medicine to motors.
Yeah.
So tell us more about your dealership.
So our dealership was started in December 2016. That's when we opened our doors. Never did we think that a Richards Bay will have a Toyota, because we've always had in Pangini Toyota, just 20 k's away. And when we started interviewing for Richards Bay Toyota, it was all very surreal. It took me about 2 weeks to say, yes, I will take this position. And when we opened up, it just, something else sparked. Knowing that it wasn't just me, I had another female, Marina, there by my side. And yeah, it wasn't easy. It was very daunting. Getting up in the mornings, but oh gosh, so many people depending on us.
Yes.
And we have come so far in the 6 years we've been open. And it's just been an amazing journey.
Wow, that's amazing. And two powerful women in the dealership. I think that's why you're so successful. No, I'm just joking. I mean, even men run dealerships are obviously successful, but I mean, it just brings a whole different dynamic to what you're doing, and it's great. So how do you feel about your nomination?
I'm very excited. It's very nice to be able to go out and tell women that don't be afraid.
Yes.
Don't stand there and think, but only a man can do that. No. Everything a man can do, we can do. And we can do them better.
Okay, I'm not going to say that because I'm going to be biased then. I must say, I mean, like, I have great relationships with the men in fact, if it wasn't for the men in the motoring trade, I would never be where I am today.
True story.
I would never have been able or I wouldn't have had the courage to inspire other people. Or I wouldn't have the courage, to take the bull by the horns and just do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I must ask you the next question in terms of your management style. It's so important for our young aspiring service managers to understand what to do, what not to do, and when you are in a management position within after sales, how do you actually approach certain situations, especially when there's discrimination. So let's talk about that.
So that does become very difficult. My style of management is not to be a micromanager. I'm not there to manage everything. I'm a leader. So I would much rather entitle my people and tell them, you know what, you can make that decision.
Yes.
You don't need to feel worried that if you make a decision, it's going to be the wrong one. There is never anything that you can do so wrong that I cannot fix. So they have to be empowered. To micromanage a team, it makes them so nervous. And you cannot have nervous people helping your customers. So the more relaxed your frontline staff is, the better for business. And I think I've got that down now.
Oh, thank you for saying that, because I'm new at this. I'm new at leading a team, very new. And I didn't really actually, I'm learning from this, thank you.
Okay.
I didn't realize that, when you're nervous and you put pressure on your people, they when they do face the customer, it's going to affect that situation. Yes. So yeah, I'm going to learn from that. So my camera crew that's standing here and sitting here, I'll be better, I promise.
I'm glad you could learn something
from Angelique. But Angelique, are there any words of advice that you can offer to women that are intending to join the industry?
Yes. Okay. Don't be afraid. Don't think that we only deserve to be in the backgrounds. We don't. We as women have got so much more to offer. We've got sympathy and empathy and passion.
Yes.
And sometimes it is so needed when you stand and talk to a customer to be able to feel his pain. And he can actually see you not just standing there and talking rubbish. You really do care.
Yes.
Men have a tendency to hide that away, to hide their emotions.
Again, that's society pressure.
Yes.
Gender inequality is not a woman's problem, because men are governed or dictated by society that they need to be a certain type of strength,
yes,
and courage, or whatever the case might be, and they too. Do you know statistics are that I think between the ages of 29 and 49, 80% of deaths in men are suicide cases, and that's one of the reasons.
It's from the pressure.
Absolutely.
Yes.
As a manager, how can you motivate and encourage both men and women? How can you encourage your team?
So I like to have lunches for them, and we haven't done it in a while. It's just the dealership has been very busy.
Yeah.
So just having little talks with them. I will go and stand outside with the service advisor and just find out, how was your day? How is your family doing? Getting in touch with their family life makes them feel that they can come to you with whatever they need. And I like to hope, and I'm sure that I've got a very open relationship with all of my employees. It's because I care about not just them and what they do for the company. I worry about their kids, their family. And at the end of the day, the only way to support them is to show them that you care and you're there for them.
It's so important because we spend so much of time at work, and your work people become your family.
Yes, they do.
And you become, as a leader, you said you like to be, that's what you are, a leader, not a manager. And you know, in order to inspire your team and to motivate them, you need to be a mother to them. So it's so important. What is the best part of being a manager?
Well, not just the salary, but being able to stand and watch how they grow. If I take my service advisor group team, it hasn't changed much since we've opened up. So I've been privileged to have 2 service advisors that's been there since day one. And when they started, one has been a service advisor, the other, she's never done this before.
It's a she.
Yes, it's also a she. And the way she's grown in the last 6 years was, like you said, like a mother's proudness when she sees her kids graduate. And that is what I see. That is the best feeling in the world, to walk into my workshop and to see guys that 4 years ago didn't have the self-confidence to take on a job, now opens up and says, but I want to do it. That for me is the best feeling.
Angelique, tell us more about yourself personally. You don't have to get into like the, you know, but tell us about yourself. Let's get people to vote for you.
Okay. So I'm a mother of 2. I've got a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old. Boys, they keep me very busy. And the best part is to go home to them at night and just to hear all their stories, in which they've got quite a few.
They never stop talking.
No, they don't. My husband and I, we've been together since I was 16.
Wow.
So we've been together a lifetime. And if it wasn't for all his encouragement and undoubtable love, I would never have been where I am now.
That's so sweet.
So the support from him is great, whether it's work-wise or personally-wise. So a few years ago, I decided to form part of our local hot rod track. So I started racing.
Wow.
Yes. It is oval track racing, and hubby is the pit mechanic. So I've got a lot of, he's very stressed out when it happens, when I go onto the track, because obviously if something goes wrong, he's the one that works on the vehicle. And I started doing that just to get that 5 minutes a month just to me. This is me. In my car.
So you are a petrol head.
Yeah, I am.
You are a petrol head.
That I am.
Oh, well.
And it's an absolute pleasure to see how many women get involved.
So I'm starting this new venture with an amazing guy, and we're venturing into motorsport because there's a lot of inquiries. In fact, I'm going to hope that he's going to watch this, because here is a topic. His name is Sasha Mataningo.
Okay, I've heard about it.
There we go. So we're going to start this project in terms of, educating our followers about motorsport. So you're literally just validating that what we're venturing into is needed. So thank you for that.
It's a pleasure.
Angelique, is there anything else that you'd like to add to this conversation?
In a nutshell, women of today, we kind of evolved from 40 years ago being a mother to being a mother today, and to be able to work, get home, make supper, do homework, and have time for your husband. I think we've evolved so much that there's nothing we can't do. There's nothing that we can't say, today is the day, and we can't go and do it.
And isn't it great that we're standing in solidarity with each other?
Yes.
And this is proof that we are here to empower each other. Yes, there are women that are breaking each other down. This is proof that you can only succeed, move up the ranks, and make a success of your career and your life when you do it together.
Yes,
right?
Definitely. Without support, it's not possible.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Very welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Viewers, thank you for watching, commenting, and sharing our interviews and our content. Our non-profit company is the Motoring Woman of the Year Awards, which is powered by MFC and Evo by Nedbank, and the Talk Studios, powered by Sariti Solutions, are aimed at recognizing and celebrating the women of motoring South Africa. We are not just telling stories, we are changing lives. Together we aim to empower and uplift the women of our trade, and we're asking them to help us to empower and uplift all our followers who would love to join the motoring trade. For those of you that are searching for your new ride, please visit www.auto.evo.africa. We have thousands of vehicles on sale for you to choose from, and we only advertise on behalf of reliable and trustworthy MFC accredited dealerships. This car listing portal is incredibly user-friendly, and you can also find vehicle reviews and car maintenance tips and advice, all courtesy of the Talk Studios. Ladies, I just want to talk about having drive. Along with drive and patience, successful people also have discipline. We talked a lot about being courageous and being confident, but discipline is a very integral part of your success. Once they are motivated to accomplish something, they work hard to achieve it and are consistent in their efforts. I'm talking about those people that have discipline. Having a strong work ethic makes people more successful. If you are disciplined, you can develop habits and routines that contribute to your success. For instance, you could create a to-do list of your daily responsibilities to hold yourself more accountable for your work each day. And on that note, I would like to remind you that the question should never be who's going to let me. It should always be who's going to stop me.